So for this project, I started with a small coffee cup. I took a hair tie, you can use a rubber band, and I put it around the cup, and then I took a permanent magic marker and drew right along the line of the hair tie. Then I removed the hair tie and I took my stained glass scoring tool. This is what you'd use to score stained glass to be able to cut it. And I went right along the black line that I had created. And I was just hoping this would help somewhat. And then I took my nipper and I went right along that line, and it actually worked for the first line that I drew, but because there was a bump on the bottom, I don't think it could go past that. So I got that, and then I decided I wasn't going to be able to cut it that way and save the handle, so I had to cut it on the other side of the handle, and it honestly worked out really good. So I have the black magic marker line on that I have to get off, but I did use my nipper to kind of shape the pieces that I had. And here you see two pieces, and there's a small third piece that I actually save also, which I'll show you later when I take it out to the garage. So those are the two larger pieces I got. I use rubbing alcohol to get the magic marker off, and it's the same thing you would use if you do magic marker on stained glass. You just use rubbing alcohol and the permanent magic marker will come right off. The tips that I used for cutting the coffee cup in half I found by watching a video on a YouTube channel called Treasury Road. Next, I took the largest piece of the coffee cup outside to I have a stained glass grinder. You can use it to grind anything or smooth out any kind of glass. And it takes water, which cuts down on the dust, but you still need to wear some kind of a mask or respirator so that you don't breathe in any of the dust that comes off of it. And you also need to wear eye protection. So I just take it and smooth the back side on it as well as I can, because you want it to sit flat on your canvas. And that one part was kind of hard to get to, the part with the handle, to be able to smooth it out, but I did the best I could. And I'm not going to show you the other two pieces. I do end up using the other two pieces in another project. One I actually did put out a video last week on the other one of the smaller pieces. So I smoothed it out as best I can, and then I was ready for the rest of the project. So for those of you who don't know, Hobby Lobby is selling this glass now. It's $4.99, and this is reflective pink. It also comes in reflective gold, reflective silver, and some solid blues and greens and maybe one other color. When I purchase fiberglass on Amazon like this, I always purchase the 1/4 inch, but inevitably some of the pieces are larger. And I really don't mind some of the larger pieces because sometimes I need larger pieces. For example, if I want to make flower petals out of them. And with this particular glass, they are anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to, I've even found a piece as big as 1.5 inches, that one right there. And I'm just taking the larger pieces and saving them and nipping them into kind of round pieces for petals. And that's why I don't like to nip up the larger pieces right away. I like to go ahead and save them and use them for projects that I might need larger pieces for. So anyway, I take all of these and I nip a whole bunch up to use for flower petals. These are really in a very large variety of sizes, but it's only $4.99 for a 1-pound container. And many times they have it on sale for 40% and sometimes for 50% off. And it's found back where the stained glass is. In our store, it's in the very back of the store with the stained glass and other like mosaic tiles. And they just recently started carrying this. So I laid the pieces I wanted out on some paper, took them out to the garage, and sprayed them with Tamiya translucent pink spray paint. Now they're very pretty just like that, as you can see, but I wanted something a little brighter. And if you use a translucent spray paint like this, whether you're using it on pink or gold or silver, I'm not sure if they have gold and silver translucents, but this one is, it will still retain the reflective quality, but it will just be darker. See how pretty that is? It still has the reflective quality, but it's just brighter and prettier, I think. And so I just gave it one coat and left it to dry. So I had pre-painted this canvas with Artist Loft Iridescent Medium, and then I took some hot pink paint and painted over it. And then next, to prepare the canvas, I put painter's tape on the back just to catch any of the drips that might drip down. It makes it easier to remove them once your project is finished the next morning. And the sooner you take it off, the better. The easier it will come off. Next, I set it up on 4 cups because if you're putting your resin on the sides and the resin drips down, it will stick to whatever's under it, your protective paper. Now, I do have a silicone mat under there, which will the resin will not stick to, but it will pool around, and you would have to actually cut it off from around the canvas, and you don't want that. So next, I start setting up the project, and I'm putting 5 petals for each flower, and then I take a black bead and put it in the center of each of the flowers. Next, I take some green glass. This is green glass that I had previously nipped off a nice bright green vase and tumbled in my tumbler, and I'm just using those for some leaves. And then I also take Ashland decorative filler that I had painted. I had painted this a long time ago with the Krylon Summer Green translucent spray paint, but it's hard to get now, but I did find a color called grass green in the Indian inks that I picked up on Amazon. I've got a whole video on it, and it is very similar to this color, and you just shake the glass up in a cup with a couple drops and it comes out a beautiful green. So after I had that all set up, I mixed up my resin. The resin I'm using for this project is art resin. Art resin is a doming or coating resin. It will not leave fish eyes. This resin is like most other resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio that you mix slowly in a cup, scraping the bottom and scraping the sides to ensure thorough mixing. I usually put my resin over the glass first. I did pick up the coffee cup and spread the resin out underneath it. And then after I'm done with that, I always spread it around onto the canvas. So this particular canvas, if you go on the Art Resin site and look at the resin calculator, this size calls for 1 ounce of resin. And for this canvas, I used just under 1.5 ounces. The resin calculators give you the amount if you're pouring it over a plain painted canvas. It doesn't take into account that you have glass on it. It doesn't take into account how large the sides are of it. I don't even know that it takes into account that you're putting resin on the sides. And some people don't put resin on the sides of their canvas. You know, everybody has their own preferences, and there's no right way and no wrong way, but I just prefer to have it on the sides. I do use a gloved hand to smooth it out at times. Now I'm putting this little butterfly brooch on it, and you need to take the pin off the back if you want it to sit flat. And you have to be really careful when you're taking them off, because I've broken one of those butterflies in half before. They're very delicate. And then I took some more Ashland decorative filler that had been painted with the Tamaya pink translucent spray paint, the same spray paint that I painted the flowers with, and I sprinkled that at the bottom. And then I also I had some little tiny pink beads that I put down there with the pink glass, and then I also took some of the green Ashland decorative filler, the same stuff I had put up around by the flowers. I sprinkled that on top. Then I sprinkled a little bit more resin over it, and I hit it with the kitchen torch to get rid of the bubbles. After I'm done with the project, I always come back every 15 minutes to check for glass placement. It's really important you have it on a level surface so that the glass doesn't shift. I retorch if needed, and I use a little toothpick to move the glass around and to remove sediment. This resin cures best at temperatures between 75 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It's in your best interest to cover it with a dust cover. All resins are different. You need to read the directions for the resin that you are using. Hey everyone. So I was able to get my little coffee cup on there, and I think that turned out so cute. And you saw that it didn't break exactly how I wanted it to, but it ended up working out. And if you watched my video last week, I used a piece from the back of this cup to create another project. And so even if for some reason the handle falls off and you end up with a bunch of broken pieces, you probably could shape a few of them into something like a little pot, you know, to look like a little flower pot. And I don't know, I almost maybe like the one I did last week better. But all in all, I think it turned out cute. And look at that glass. Isn't that pretty, how reflective that is? So that is the glass from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby now has glass that comes in this. These kind of look like the tubs that you get from Michael's. And it's a pound of glass, and they have the pink reflective. So here it is, pink reflective. They have pink, gold, and silver reflective, and then they have non-reflective glass, I think blue, green, and another color. And it's the reflective is $4.99, the regular is $4.50, but it goes to 40 and 50% off, so keep your eyes open. I mean, if you could get this for $2.50, wouldn't that be a great deal? And so you could put your glass right on your project, and I could have made the flowers like this, but I wanted it a little darker. And as long as, and I used the Tamaya translucent pink, and as long as you do it real light, the reflective quality will still show through. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it turned out so pretty. Anyway, it was I think it was a pretty easy project. So anyway, I hope you guys learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. If you enjoy the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell, then you'll be notified whenever I put out a new video. We have the Facebook page going, an amazing group of people displaying beautiful artwork, very helpful. Everybody is so kind and helpful. If you have any questions, many people will answer. Come join us there, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.